we are going to begin the module for probability. The concept, very new concept, I should say. Why? Because this is not new topic for you, but you have seen this in earlier classes also. The things which we are going to discuss here. This is the analysis of probability. What's that? First topic will be conditional probability. Let us discuss what is conditional probability. Here, I would like to discuss one example. Suppose we have the pack of 52 cards. Out of that, if I want to draw one card randomly and I ask for the probability that this card is being king, then obviously, as you know, that out of 52, 4 are kings. So that's why probability of the first card being king, this card, one card being king, this will be 4 out of 52. That is 4 upon 52, or simplifying, we can say it is 1 upon 13. Further, if I consider that 2 cards are drawn, whenever 2 or more cards are drawn, it's just like that 2 or more events are taking place together, all together, one by one. Okay, so what does it make the sense here, or how is it different from the earlier case of one card? Let me explain. There are two conditions. One is with replacement and the other is without replacement. Let us consider with replacement first. How does it look? How is it applied in the conditions? Let me explain. Suppose I draw first card. I found that it's a king. If I take the card back to the group, I mean to say, if I keep this back in the group of 52 cards, then this condition is known as with replacement condition. If I draw this first card, but I do not put it back with 52 cards, I keep it aside. The first card is kept aside. In that case, the condition is known as without replacement. But in both cases, we see that this will affect the probability of the second card. How? Suppose first card is drawn, it's a king. Obviously, its probability is 4 by 52. In the case of with replacement, obviously this card goes back to the group. Means originally there were 52 cards. So if I keep it back, it remains 52 only. Now again my question is, what is the probability of second card being a king? So for the second card being a king, in the case of with replacement, the probability is 4 upon 52 as it is. Why? Because there was no change in the number of kings. There was no change in the number of total number of cards. It remained as it is. But in the case of without replacement, I will not put this card back to the group of 52 cards. So what will happen? One king will be less. Total are 4 kings. So in this case, second card, if I want king, second card being king, in this case, one less king we have. Total 4 are there. So in that condition, we have now 3 kings and total number of cards also from 52 turns as 51. Here now you can see this is the change. Now, conclusion. In first case, there was no effect of the first event being occurred. Okay. As we could see that first was king. Second also I require to be king, but it remains like normal probability, they are equal. But in the second case where without replacement condition is given, occurrence of the first event affects occurrence of the second event. In such a condition, this probability is known as conditional probability. This is being affected or influenced by the given condition of first event taking place earlier. We say that if A and B are two events such that A has already occurred. A has already occurred. Obviously, as I am talking about the second condition. Okay. What second condition? Here I am talking about in such a case where one event occurrence affects the other. So A has already occurred. It has taken place. Just like this card, first card being king, already occurred. Then PB/A. Now this can be simply said as conditional probability. This is the symbolic language for conditional probability of B on the condition that A has already occurred. This is the condition. So whichever event already occurs, we write this after slash oblique. Okay, and the event which is being affected and which is taking place at the means after this, right after this first event. So we write that here first. Okay. So conditional probability of B on A, this is defined as P means probability of A intersection B divided by probability of A, the event which has already occurred. Now this formula helps us to find the probability of this second event directly. As we know, it is being affected by the first one. Okay, so here we can obtain the probability, second probability directly. There is no need to discuss the first one. So this is the first topic which we have to see in application with first exercise of 11th chapter, 13th chapter, probability of NCERT. So let's see few questions. This formula will be very clear to you. Next. Here, the first question of 13.3 exercise, E and F are two events such that we are given the probability of event E as 0.6, of F we are given as 0.3, and probability of E intersection F, both. Intersection means both together. Keep in mind, this in language, this may be written in equation. So probability of both events occurring together is 0.2. Then we need a conditional probability of E on F, also conditional of event F on E. Then in both of them we require intersection, it's available. And here F has already occurred according to the question. It says F has already occurred, so probability of F also is given. In reverse condition, we see that the second probability intersection will be used, but according to this symbol, we have probability of F on E means E has already occurred. So probability of E also is mentioned. We can directly use the formula for P E on F. This is probability E intersection F divided by probability of F. Intersection is 0.2 and it's 0.3. We get 2 by 3. Similarly, if I obtain P F on E, so this is again P F intersection E upon P of E. And by the basic theory, we know that by set theory, that E intersection F or F intersection E, this is commutative property, both are same. So that's why we will consider this to be 0.2. We will substitute 0.2 and P of E as 0.6. So it will come as 1 by 3. Further, we are given equation number 3, which is having 3 subdivisions. We will consider them one by one. Again, we are given probability of some event A, probability of other event B, and this time we are given conditional probability of B on A. okay, as 0.4. These are the three equations. We need intersection, we need conditional of A or B, we need A union B probability also. One by one we will do. As I see that with the given information, if I expand this by formula, probability of B on A can be written as probability of B intersection A divided by probability of A. We are given this value as 0.4. This is B intersection A divided by probability of A 0.8. So shifting the 0.8 towards left hand side, we can get the required probability as this will be the product of 0.4 and 0.8. It comes 0.32. Okay. Next, probability of A on B we require. This can be expanded by the formula probability of A intersection B upon probability of B. I find one thing, these equations are dependent on each other. Interlinked equations are given. We saw it first, now its application is here. What's that? 0.32 divided by 0.5. So this will become 32 upon 50. 16.25. So finally it is 16 upon 25. You can write in these decimals also. Doesn't matter. Additionally, I will speak by the experience. You also might be knowing that probability can be expressed in three ways: percentage, decimal, or fraction. Okay. In any way you can put the answer. Further we go. This A union B. Now again, this is from earlier classes, that A union B by the set theory or addition theorem of probability, both look similar. Okay, this is the addition theorem of probability, algebra of it. We can expand it by probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. The only thing you have to do is to put the values. It's 0.8 plus 0.5 minus 0.32. So we get here 1.3 minus 0.32. It comes 10 minus 2, 8, remaining 2. 12 minus 3, 0.9 in the required probability. So this way, these are the basic equations. We will go ahead and more equations we will solve. Here, next I am taking question number 6. Reason. Now we are not given the direct values of event probabilities of different events. Here we are given the definition of event and all values we have to obtain. Experiment is a coin is tossed 3 times. 2 events are defined in first case. E as head on the third toss, F heads on the first 2 tosses. And consistent question is, here we need to find probability of event E on F, means F has already occurred, this we have to consider. So by formula we know it is probability of E intersection F upon probability of F. But to discuss these two things, we need everything to know. What's that? Sample space first. Whenever 3 coins are tossed, we need to shortlist the sample space. Here we do. Maybe that you are not knowing how to shortlist in these cases. So I will explain that also. I have used H and T, the language, H for heads and T for tails. Now let me explain how we do. As here we are given a coin is tossed 3 times. Whenever a coin is tossed n times or n coins are tossed 1 time, then the number of outcomes always is 2 raised to the power n. It is 2 raised to the power n. Let me do the rough work here. 2 raised to the power n. Given condition is 3 times, so required outcomes are 2q means 8 outcomes. Now this may be, I'm doubting, maybe that equation that how to shortlist them quickly. So for that purpose, just to do, total number of outcomes are 8, half of it is 4. So write vertically 4 times h and then 4 times t. Half of 4 is 2. Now write 2 times h, 2 times t. Repeat the procedure. And half of 2 is 1. This will be make half. We can shortlist them very quickly. So 1 time h, 1 time t. Repeatedly you do. So all outcomes are shortlisted. No mistake also is there. Nothing you have forgot. Okay. So you can apply this in different conditions. Depends on number of outcomes. Now here E event says head on the third toss. Event E. So let us shortlist the outcomes of E. Head on the third toss. It's the one here, triple H. Here next this one TTH. Then we have T double H. And last one HTH. Okay. Next, let's define F also. Heads on first 2 tosses means it starts with double H. So this triple H for sure will come. HT. Then we have no, nothing else. This much. Okay. So now we discuss these 2 things. E intersection. So E intersection also should be written in the form of set. E intersection F means what's common in them. So in E and F, common thing is C, only triple H is common. Now easily we can find the probability. Probability of E intersection F, this is equal to 1 outcome. And this is always compared. Total number of outcomes is taken from the sample space. They are 8 in number, so 1 upon 8. And probability of F also required. F, how many outcomes are there? 2. 2 by 8. If I put this value in the formula, so required probability E on F is equal to 1 upon 8 upon 2 upon 8. So finally it is 1 by 2 or 0.5. Now, I would like to discuss this second condition also, second question. Sample space remains as it is, as these are the events defined on this one sample space only. Coin tossed 3 times. Now, event E, at least 2 heads. At least 2 heads means minimum number of heads required is 2. So, maximum will be 3. Means in all cases where 2 heads or 3 heads are included, we have to consider. So I find triple H is one condition where we find 3 heads. Double HT also will be taken. This cannot be taken. At least we are given 2 heads. Okay. So H double T will be avoided. Triple T can't be taken. This also. Here T double H will be considered. And THT no, because 1 head is there. Here we have 2H. So HTH comes here. Next, F. At most 2 heads means maximum 2 heads. Means always, whenever at most case is there, it starts with 0. Means no head, 0 head, 1 head or 2 head. Maximum 2 heads are given. So let's see. From 0 means from triple T you can start. We find out this can be done directly also. How? More than 2 heads we have only one condition, 3 heads, triple H. All rest are having either no head, 1 head or 2 heads. Means other than triple H all will be included. Okay. So we will shortlist all of them. HST, HTT, triple T, double TH, THH, THT, HTH. Okay. And let's find intersection also. It's needed every time whenever conditional probability is to be obtained. E intersection F, common things. This is not common, we know. Rest 1, 2, 3. All are common here. Now question is asking again for E on F, probability of E on F. So intersection, probability of E intersection F, we have 3 upon 8, as total 8 are there in sample space, and probability of F, as I see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so it is 7 by 8. If I put these two values in the formula, then E on F probability is 3 by 7. I hope you get it. Now this was a different one. Let's see a few more questions from the same exercise. Next, we begin with question number 8. A die is thrown 3 times. Previously it was coin. Here we are throwing the die 3 times. 2 events are defined. E being 4 appears on the third toss. F event defined as 6 and 5 appears respectively on first 2 tosses. Now, when such questions are given, previously it was easier to shortlist the outcomes, that 8 were there. But in this case, if I consider that a die is thrown 3 times, so how many outcomes will be there? So as we know, in one die total 6 outcomes are there. So this time total number of outcomes becomes 6 cube, which is 216. 216 we cannot shortlist. Now we have to use some shortcuts so that we can find it out easily. And no need, no requirement of writing all the outcomes. Okay, only number that matters. How will we solve this question? Let's start. First of all, as we require in this question also, E on F. Okay, according to the book, it is up to question number 9. We need E on F, E of conditional probability of E on F. So here also, if I want number of outcomes in event E, how to get it? Let's start. It says 4 appears on the third toss. So we will use the concept of permutation and combination, box method. Third toss, 4 appears. So let us fix 4 there. Now here we have to focus. We have to fix this number 4. This result 4 out of 3 tosses. Rest 2, randomly any outcome can be filled in these boxes. So we know that this is placed for one die, this is for second die, this is for third die. So third die is given as 4 only. Other 2, we have 6 options from here, 6 options from the second one. No other condition is given. So total number of outcomes will be 36. I am using here method addition, this law of multiplication. Okay, fundamental. So 36 outcomes are there in this event. Now we will see F. Number of outcomes in F. 6 and 5 appears respectively on first 2. Means 6 is fixed here, 5 also fixed here. So we have option of only 6. So total number of outcomes in F are 6. The question is E intersection F. How to understand? As I am repeatedly speaking, shortlisting is not possible. So we need such a results where these two conditions are satisfied. Intersection means both conditions should be satisfied. So what are the conditions? First place 6, second place 5, and third place 4. So E intersection, if such a result we have, number of outcomes in E intersection F, this will be equal to exactly 1. Okay, so according to the formula, we will find probability of E on F, this will be E intersection F, which is 1 upon 260 total. Probability, this was number only, be careful, divided by probability of F. So here F we have 6, total 6 results. So 6 upon 216. So finally the required probability comes as 1 by 6. You can see I have not shortlisted outcomes. So such things also we have to be aware of. Okay. Now next, it's a different from that series. Question number 10, we are given a black and a red dice are rolled together. We need to find a condition probability of obtaining a sum greater than 9. We need a probability of this event, a sum greater than 9, and given that the black die resulted in a 5. Be careful. Whenever such theory is given, after given that the event which is given, it has already occurred. Okay, this way we have to define. I will write the language of E and F. If I consider E as a sum greater than 9 and F as the black die resulted 5. So here F is given later after this connector given that. So F has already occurred and we need a probability of first event means E. So actually we require probability of E on F. This is the question. So we require intersection. Here we can shortlist as in the condition of 2 dice only. First one we are seeing as a red, then it's black. A sum greater than 9. What are the outcomes? Let us shortlist. Sum greater than 9. These outcomes are, we can say randomly 5 5, 5 6, 6 5, 4 6, 6 4, 6 6. These are the outcomes where you will find sum greater than 9. Okay, you can check by activity. Now it says black die resulted 5, means fix the black die for 5. Then how many outcomes are there possible for red? All 1 5, 2 5, 3 5, like that. So we can shortlist here 1 5, 2 5, 3 5, 4 5, 5 5 and 6 5. Now E intersection F can easily be written. What is common in them? E intersection F, I find it is 5 5 available and 6 5 also available. We can say this is satisfying both conditions. Second place 5 and sum also is greater than 9. Now this required probability will be obtained. P E on F is P means probability of E intersection F upon P of F. So this language conversion is must, you can see, otherwise the rest part is easier. So E intersection of this will be 2 upon, now again the question mark, how many outcomes are there? Total. We are throwing the 2 dice. On one it is a 6, other it is 6. So total obviously will be 36 outcomes. Okay, so 2 upon 36 divided by P of F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 36, that is 1 by 3. So these are few questions which are enough to explain the concept of conditional probability. I hope you get it very well. Thank you. That's all.